The GSD recalls that when in government, it introduced legislation in relation to rehabilitation of offenders, which enables some convictions to be spent and therefore not have to be disclosed to prospective employers. In its prison reforms, it also introduced mandatory drugs testing as part of the prison and parole process. It believes it's a great shame that these provisions had not been deployed at all before last year, and would like to see them used for the benefit of prisoners and society, but also have further steps to help the rehabilitation of offenders and the prevention of reoffending in future. The party would like to see the Minister for Justice place education and training at the heart of that strategy, with an assessment of the educational and training needs and levels of prisoners at the point of incarceration. It would like to see clear, individually tailored programmes prepared to help prisoners acquire the skills they need to facilitate post-release integration into society. It feels it involves a holistic approach, where judges, probation officers, the prison service and the government work closely to ensure people come out of prison with a better chance of making an honest and useful contribution to society than when they were convicted. The GST points out the Ministry of Justice in the UK has recently reviewed its policy on the rehabilitation of offenders, recognising the link between the lack of employment and educational opportunities with an increased risk of offending and the costs in both human and economic terms that entails. The government, it says, already has a future job strategy in place and believes this could be used to ensure prisoners are properly trained. Furthermore, the GST also notes the Ban the Box international campaign by civil rights groups aimed at persuading employers to remove from their hiring applications for non-sensitive posts the checkbox that asks if applicants have a criminal record, instead asking about this later in the application or recruitment process. It believes this to be a worthwhile initiative and one which the government should consider encouraging or adopting. The reality is, it says, that despite legislative changes since 2011, there is still a great stigma associated with the hiring of former offenders. Lack of education, training and jobs contributes, it says, to reoffending, with all the costs associated with the same. It believes the time is right to prioritise these issues and attempt to end the cycle of reoffending.